In the famous words of Susan B., Austin traffic is the work of the devil. Oh no, it's the work of Satan. I totally messed up the quote. She said Austin traffic is the work of Satan. So are those shoes that lady's wearing across the street, that's the work of Satan as well. I'm just kidding. Anyway, hey guys, what's going on? Yeah, I'm in traffic again, and I thought I'd make a video. So I guess what I'm going to talk about today is there was an email that surfaced with Stanley Plotkin, a person that works at, if you don't know who Stanley Plotkin is, you should Google Highwire's Plotkin on vaccines. He's a vaccine consultant that has made and manufactured vaccines, and a lot of the pharmaceutical companies use him as a consultant. He's dubbed as the godfather of vaccines. So what happened in his situation where I guess there was a child, there was a custody battle, and the parents, one parent was pro-vaccine and the other parent was not, didn't want their child vaccinated. And he was called in on behalf of the pro-vaccine person. But it set him up for this 9-hour deposition. 9 hours. I've seen 2 hours of it. It's gold. You really get an eye into how these psychopaths think, and they don't care about shit. That they're straight from hell, just like Austin traffic. And it's fascinating. So if you don't want to, you can cut it up and watch it in parts. You can watch all 9 hours of the deposition, but Highwire did some highlights. They actually took some of the questions from the deposition, and it's great. I mean, it's great in the sense that it exposes a lot. But so anyway, it was an email with him. So this is the guy, I mentioned him because he's the guy on the email, Stanley Plotkin. And then it was somebody from Every Child by Two, and another couple of people. It was basically somebody captured a 3-person conversation between them, saying that basically Robert F. Kennedy is a thorn in their side and that they need to counter his lies. They need to do something to counter his lies. So what does that mean? Well, it means, I think that's good news in the sense that, like, me being the cockeyed optimist that I am, right? But it's good news that John F. Kennedy and people like you that are spreading truth are being effective, right? What is he lying about? What lies does he need to counter? Oh no, excuse me. He's exposing their lies. So now they're going to try and come after him to do something about it. And I mean, he's really, he's a lawyer. He's harder to discredit, right? Because he's a lawyer. He's a Kennedy. Everybody loves the Kennedys. He's done a lot of research on aluminum. He's an environmentalist. He's very well spoken. Even though he has a speech impediment, he has, I think, his vocal cords. There's something wrong with his vocal cords, but he still doesn't care. He's very well spoken and very likable and very honest. And you can, anything that he says, you can research to see if you can cross-reference to see if he's lying. So if you take some of his aluminum studies that he presents, then you can go read the study. You can go look at other studies done in aluminum and see how, it relates. You can talk, you can see, you can get interviews from some of the scientists of the studies. I mean, it's not rocket science. So basically they're just saying that, he's exposing them. They didn't say that. They're saying, oh yeah, he's spreading propaganda, so we're going to need to do something to counteract his lies. It's like, get out of here, dude. You guys are just butthurt because you're losing. You guys are having to play dirty. That's why you're censoring people, and that's why you're you're censoring people, you're lying on people. There was another, please check it out on our wall. There's another lawyer who I guess some news media basically found a random picture of his child. It was his child, and they tried to pass it off as somebody that had measles, when it was actually a lawyer's child that actually was having a reaction from the measles vaccine. So this shit's blowing up in their face. It's amazing. It's so great. They're such assholes. So that tweet. So somebody's going down to that news channel. They got a high-profile lawyer's kid, and they're trying to lie. Got caught lying. They're just taking pictures, not doing research. They had that, NBC just got caught like photoshopping, okay? Somebody found the stock photo that they use, and they basically just took like Photoshop. It was like and made like measles. And if you look, the doctor isn't wearing isn't wearing a mask. He's not wearing gloves. So if measles is so contagious and it's so deadly, you would think that people were wearing those suits with with like they wear in the movies when there's like a plague or something like contagion. You would think that people would be wearing those around people with the measles because everybody's freaking out so much about it. But in this simple picture, the doctor didn't even have gloves. He's just holding a baby. Oh, the doctor can get measles. Or is he okay because maybe he got real measles when he was, or natural measles when he was younger and he's immune? But they're not even using that story anymore. Everybody has to get vaccinated because they will never admit that their vaccines are failing. And I know there's some people that are going to get mad at me for this, but I'm not denying the fact that we have a huge immigration problem. And I think that foreign people can bring diseases into the country, depending on the situation, depending on what's going around in the country, depending on hygiene, pollution, all this other stuff that's going on. Because when Ellis Island, when a lot of Europeans came from Ellis Island, the first thing that they were checked for was disease. So the boat would they wouldn't even come into the country until they were evaluated for physical and mental disease. And I think this guy's trying to get over. Cool old Wrangler. Anyway. So I'm not denying that can't happen, but in this case with the measles outbreaks, I really don't think it's the illegal immigrants. For one, people they're saying that they are bringing disease in, but they're reporting things like leprosy, TB. It was some other stuff. It wasn't like the measles. I think maybe a couple of cases of chicken pox. So logically, I'm just being logical. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's so even if that was an issue, it's not an issue. So I don't think the illegal immigrants are bringing in the measles and causing everybody to get an outbreak. Okay, number one. Number two, if most of the population in America is vaccinated against the measles, so if the vaccines work, why are all these outbreaks happening? Even if illegal immigrants came in and they had the measles, but if everybody's vaccinated, why are all these outbreaks happening in vaccinated populations? Number three, Mexico and other countries, they're vaccinated for that stuff too. Thanks to the evil Gates foundations, they're always going to third world countries, second world countries. They're vaccinating people. Mexico supposedly has a high vaccination rate for measles. So I don't see how the illegal immigrants are making the outbreaks happen. Logically, it doesn't make sense, and I'm not going to jump to the conclusions because I see people just saying that without really any logic or truth behind it. It's a possibility, but just by the breakdown that I did, I don't see that that's an issue. Now, I've done other videos where there are I don't know if I have time to put them in the links before I get home today. But check out, I think I did the measles is bullshit one video. In the links I posted outbreaks that happened from measles all around the world. And they were vaccinated. The people were vaccinated, okay? So same thing's happening with mumps, vaccinated populations, people get mumps, Vaccines don't work. I know there's some people that need that security, but like, toy with that. What happens if vaccines don't work? Is it okay? Like, I think there're just some people that even they know that vaccines are bad and they're not good for them, you know, and maybe they're putting stuff in it. You know, I think that's a possibility too. You know, they're putting like nanoparticles and all these other things in it and experimenting on us. I think that's a possibility. I don't have any proof of that, but I'm not close to that idea. That they're doing that. I know that they want to do it and they've tried to do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it, but they do it. But I have proof that the measles shits, and I have proof that you know because it says it in the insert. Because I think 2 of the articles we posted it on our wall talks about they have like an RNA testing sequence that they do, and they can trace, because they use a specific type of genotype for the vaccine. So they can trace some people and see if they got it from the vaccine or if it's wild caught measles. So yeah, I mean, so I can prove those things, right? But I mean, I wouldn't put it past these evil motherfuckers to be putting all kinds of other shit in the vaccines. I'm just saying I don't have any direct proof. And I know people are gonna already be pissed that I have the audacity to criticize vaccines. So I try not to really talk about stuff unless I can link it to something. Even though a lot of those people that criticize, they don't read, they don't do research, they just name call and whine and cry. Because people don't want to take responsibility for their health. They want a pill or a vaccine to fix everything, and true health doesn't come in a pill or a vaccine. It comes in your state of mind. It comes in the food you put into your body. It comes into your environment. It comes into your environment, but it has to do with your environment and your all those things that I mentioned. Is very complex. It's not just one thing. And I think for some people it's really hard for them to admit, or either even toy with the idea that that they don't need a vaccine, that and now people are being fear-mongered. We see all these movies like Contagion and The Stand and I don't know, other movies where there are plagues and stuff and people are like dying, but I don't really it doesn't, I mean, there plagues happen. There are also people that live, right? And everybody dies. So why is that? Why do some people live and some people die? I think it has to do with the state of the health of the person to begin with in the first place, right? But it's very complex, and it's not a one size fits all. It's not a one answer for every situation. Somebody Oregon just did a what do you call it? A drill for the plague, for like a plague-like situation. I'm just like, for real? Like, really? They're just trying to fearmonger people, okay? Yeah, they're trying to fearmonger people. I mean, the plague, somebody even told me that yeah, vaccines cured the plague. I was like, you're an idiot, dude. Like, vaccines weren't even invented yet when the plague happened, and there's no vaccine for the plague. It was a bacteria that was brought in by rats. So there's no vaccine for it. Just it kind of died out, and then 2/3 of people, they're like, oh, 1/3 of people died. I'm like, yeah, but 2/3 of people survived. So what were those other people doing? Why did they survive and 1/3 of people didn't? And then you got to question that too, because now, this happened such a long time ago. It's really just information from hearsay, So are those numbers really accurate? I'll never really say that something didn't happen, but I will question the numbers and why it happened and how it happened. What is that from 1984? He who controls the present controls the past, and he who controls the past controls the future. I think that's right. So you guys should just start questioning everything. They're lying about this measles outbreak. They're taking pictures. Now, how do we even know that the numbers that they're saying of people that got measles is accurate? Do you guys know anybody? Do you know lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people that have the measles at the moment that are suffering? I haven't seen one person yet that has the measles. Now, I think people do get the measles. I'm not saying that, because I always have to make sure I cover my tracks, because I'm not saying that people don't get the measles. But I'm just saying, I just don't think it's to the degree. And now with all of this research I'm doing, I'm starting to wonder about other stuff too, because you start, kind of digging and asking questions. A lot of stuff doesn't add up. If you were really start to look at, rates in other countries and what happened then, and, did you know anybody that had this disease, or like how, you start using your common sense, and stop just, being paralyzed by the propaganda and the fear mongering that they're trying to put on you, then, this is what they don't want us to do. They don't want us making videos. They don't want us talking about this stuff. They don't want us to think. Okay? So I need you guys to think. All right? Try and spread, any information, anything that you can, like, contribute. You might be a policeman, you might be a fireman, you might be a teacher, a doctor, a student, an observer, like some of I don't know, like just, we're all pieces of the puzzle, right? Like there might be some things that as a fireman that I wouldn't have noticed because I'm not a fireman or firewoman, or as a dog keeper, or as something, try and put the pieces to the puzzle together so we can all figure this thing out, because there's more of us than there is of them. And the only tool that they have is to lie and fearmonger us and coerce us by fear. This whole measles thing is fear, right? Like somebody in my comment section said, we ate measles for breakfast. That shit was funny. I love when you guys make me laugh. You guys are great. But people, what? People are like flipping out over the measles? Seriously? And then that Marcia bitch from Brady Bunch was like, I'm so sick of these anti-vaxxers using the propaganda. Well, who gives a fuck what you think, Marcia? Like, then you know what? You're going to have to come after the Flintstones and Leave It to Beaver and other TV shows of that era that also talked about measles being a very harmless disease. So, Marcia, who cares? Anyway, that's my rant for today, you guys. I hope it made sense. I kind of went off on tangents. I always do that, though. But anyway, love you guys. Peace and love. Bye-bye. Mwah.